We're back. We're here. Have no fear.
It's Friday.
Your fantasy football therapists are here. We're here to listen to your problems and talk about our own. This is actually a two-way street. Yeah, that's all. I don't know. I don't have another joke for that or another analogy. I like your glasses. I think they go the other way though. How's everyone doing tonight? We're just gonna hang out. We didn't have time to plan a real show, so
Yeah.
At least I didn't. Brian probably didn't have. He probably wasn't actually working at his real job. My fake job is more important than his real job. So,
well, my real job is I started a new job.
He did. He wore a tie to his new job, and he sent me a picture and everything. We should have uploaded it, but that was great. That was great.
Oh god,
you looked really cute. You was like a very youth pastor, hey kids tie, but it was also like I'm also serious minister.
Yeah.
What's going on, Pizzle and Daniel Franson? Nice to have you along. I know last week you missed the show because you were scrolling on TikTok. You sent the group chat like 3 TikToks during the time of our show.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed in you that you weren't even you would rather watch random people's crappy they weren't even good TikToks either. I'm gonna be honest with you, Daniel. They were lame. Stuff I've seen like a week ago.
Yeah.
So
thanks, Jet. Yeah, so I started a new job this week. Didn't have time. We legitimately just didn't have time. Johnny was on the road.
I was on the road.
So
just got back.
This is going to be a more hang time.
We do have our fantasy picks of the week, but that's about all we had time for.
Yeah. So and fun things that happened. We didn't do our show last night, but we did get to witness the
Broncos, falling apart. The ride officially. I think that. I mean, at this point, what do you think is the future? Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to say that. What do you think the future of the Broncos is at this point? I think that might have sealed Russell Wilson's fate. You got to think, even though it was not his fault. It was kind of the entire offense. I blame Sean Payton actually for trying to force the passing game because the running game was working great. They were picking up big pickups on the ground. They both averaged like 6 yards a carry, and in that 3rd and 2 situation, you have to be able to trust your backs to get that. If you don't, then what's the point of even trying them? Because then you're just using it to set up the pass, and then your pass isn't working anyway. So it's just annoying.
Yeah, and there was some questionable things happening. One of the most questionable things, and we talked about this in our fantasy chat. But and also I was just thinking about this the other day, and we could, people might have some ideas in the comments, but we should probably do like maybe a fun league next year with the podcast.
Yeah, we could do that for sure.
Just because it'd be a little bit more interactive, so whoever wants to join it, I'm okay with doing like a giant league, as many people that wants to do it as possible.
I've always wanted to do like a 32-team league or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
so you're like grasping at straws for people to
you have
start.
like 2 like startable people each.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. So there was a questionable thing that happened that I was like very offended by. Was Sean Payton
timeout?
Yeah, Sean Payton. It was like 19 seconds left in that first half, and Sean Payton calls a timeout, like going into 4th down. Not like you just run the clock out at that point, or you go for it. If you're calling timeout, you're gonna go for it essentially. Yeah. And what it kind of felt like was maybe Sean Payton thought that, we need some time to think about this next play, and maybe Russell would be willing to, do this. But and then so what happened was he calls the timeout. They end up punting, which is like, what the heck just happened? And then Patrick Mahomes drives it downfield, and Harrison Butker kicks a 60-yard field goal. And I believe Daniel might have him on.
It had like 5 extra yards on it too, at least.
Yeah,
that was good from at least 65. I think it might have been good from 70, honestly, because it was still. It was big. Yeah, I'm curious. I didn't check like the post game press conference or anything, but I'm sure someone asked Sean Payton about that, and that's very confusing. I assumed it was like a mess up by the referee just said the wrong team, because of course the Chiefs, we know what they can do in 13 seconds. We saw it a year and a half ago. So,
but it was marked as a Broncos timeout. Like it was like on
and they took
Broncos.
it off graphics too. So it was definitely, and they were talking about it this morning too. I know people were talking about it. So
yeah,
interesting logic there. I don't know what's going on, but
he's a bad coach.
We're starting this weekend. Pizzle asks. I hear my cat crying.
I thought that was my son, but he's crying. He's yelling too. Is Minshew worth starting this weekend? You know, Minshew's actually been good in these situations where he's like called upon to just do. But I don't know as far as like it really comes down to the other team's prep. Who are the Colts playing this week?
Jaguars, I believe, right?
Jaguars.
So I think he is. I think he was legit the last two. Well, it depends. Are you talking about our Grossi league? That's funny if it is, because I should give you bad advice if you are, because I'm in your league. I think. Hey Theo. Hey Katie. I hear that. No, but I think that Minshew. I want to pull his stats real quick. I'm sorry. Give me like 5 seconds. So
he hasn't had a great game.
14. The one game he did start was 14 points. 13. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. That was his projection. 13.
It was against the one game that he did start was against Baltimore.
Who's your other guy? Because I think you shouldn't probably unless you're desperate, because he doesn't have like a lot of potential for like a. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's a solid backup quarterback at least, but you could probably get someone else on your waiver wire that might be a little more effective there, even like a Goff if he's there, I'll talk about it later, but even like a Mac Jones could have a bounce back game against the Raiders. So,
Jet had a question. What does it mean having a running back and wide receiver on your bench with high upside?
High upside. So that would be like someone. I'm trying to think of a good example. Just someone who has a lot of potential, usually on good offenses. I picked up Jeff Wilson. This is a good example. I picked up Jeff Wilson since he's on the Dolphins, and we've seen kind of what he's had before in the past. Sure, he's injured, but he has we saw what I might call him the two different pronunciations. What he could do in just a high-powered offense like that. So, that's a good one. Like a Mims, for example, like deep play guys. For receivers specifically, like deep play guys. Running backs is also like those third down kind of pass catchers also have a lot of it because they can take 60 yards. But yeah, that's a good. Marvin Mims might be another high value. What do we call it?
Yeah, and there's some
high upside. I'm sorry, I had my thing.
And there's a lot of those this week. I feel like, but
yeah, I still have Tank Dell because I picked him up. He's a very high upside guy. He could, because it's still early on in the season, so we don't know. A lot of these younger guys, kind of need to fit in the offense. So. Bills are hosting Baldy's Giants on SMF. Who wins? I'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about the game a little bit later in our fantasy thing. But I think that the Bills probably will pull it off, but I think it might be closer than we expect because it's got that Brian Dable revenge game. So
yeah,
we got dogs barking, we got cats crying,
cats, dogs, and babies.
Eli Manning. I'd get Tom Brady, not Eli Manning, because Eli Manning, he kind of only comes during the playoffs, and that doesn't matter for fantasy football. So.
He's like Santa; he only comes once a year.
Yeah, absolutely. There's like a bunch of people that are more qualified or better articulated than I would be. Me or Brian. I'll say me too.
We just do this because we like to talk on a YouTube.
Yeah, we like to hang out, and we have nothing else to do in our lives, and it's a distraction from all the other stuff that's happening in the world. So, yeah. Shut up. Okay.
Maybe he's just talking to my dog and Theo and the cat, maybe. Daniel. So those of you who don't know, Daniel Franzen was my roommate in college for 3 years. And then I upgraded to Nicholas Mara, who plays linebacker on the
Eagles. He got a interception, didn't he?
Was a pick, he's one of the highest rated linebackers
PFF
right now.
Yep. The two Bears linebackers from last year were the top rated, Roquan and Nick.
Yeah.
I think I just messed up my lighting. I was trying to fix it. It's whatever.
Yeah, Daniel's the commissioner. That's right. good memory. Jet Daniel is our commissioner.
Commissioner Dan.
And he's very hands off. Like he wants us to make the decisions for stuff, and he doesn't want to impose his will.
He just needs to listen to. He doesn't care about our opinions in the offseason. Apparently, we need some rules we never change this offseason.
Yeah, there's some things that he just like. We had some issues with. We had some issues with like draft day scheduling, and that was on him. I'm pretty sure, and some rules
that was fine. No, I wouldn't even say that. I think we just didn't talk about the rules, like the.
Well, yeah, but the draft day scheduling should have been scheduled out maybe a week or two early.
He gave us.
I'm just listen. Some people couldn't make it.
I didn't make it because I had other arrangements that weekend. But
well, I mean, if we would have been like
it was plenty notice. You're being a little girl right now. Sorry, I shouldn't say that's
if you're asking for a critique of Daniel, that's a obvious one in my opinion. Ron asked, "What are the Pokémon streams?
Pokemon stream when? I don't know, man. I don't want to play Pokemon anymore. I got mad because I forgot I got so far. I was like playing off stream. I wasn't even playing on stream, but I got so far on my own, and I accidentally passed up like the special Pokemon or whatever because I was going to come back to it because I forgot. Like I ran out of Pokeballs, I think, or whatever it was, so I couldn't capture them, and that was my only chance to do it, and I screwed up. And I was
you saved before you.
I did. Or no, I think I screwed up. I don't know. I did.
Wait, who were you trying to catch?
It was a few months ago. I don't remember what Pokemon
was it. A legendary?
It was the legend. Yeah, it was the legendary Pokemon in like one of the parks or whatever that you have.
Oh, you just saved. You saved before.
I screwed up the save. I saved it afterwards on accident or something. I don't remember what happened. When I remember, I screwed it up. That was very bad. Madden will probably be the next streams. I was gonna do that tonight, but probably
I might join. I might join on these. Like I might just talk while he's doing this. But
that'd be fun. I don't know if I could. I don't know how to set that up to where it's like you in because I just did it to my PS5. I need to find out a better way to do it. I know.
It'd be fun if we streamed on the actual Second String Sports channel, me playing, and then you streamed on your channel, and we were facing each other, and you could go back and forth listening to us get mad at each other.
That would be interesting, and just have like we could have we could figure that out. I just need to do a little more research on the text.
Well, we got to move on to because we're running out of time because Grassi's going to start streaming here.
Yeah, I mean it's not a huge deal, but yeah, we'll let you guys go here for Friday on a Q&A. It's fine, but we're going to put up. I need to upload this real quick. Stall. We're going to go through our fantasy picks of the week here, as soon as I can load up this slideshow and click all these buttons.
My mom broke my PS1 because we weren't doing school.
That's unfortunate, man.
We weren't allowed to have a PlayStation until we were like 14, but even then I wasn't homeschooled.
Here, give me my cat is like having a fit right now. I'm gonna give him a treat so he starts up.
Well, I'll give a little bit of an intro to this week. We're not doing, anything special besides just the picks. We will go over our last week's picks and sort of grade. So Jet, no, we're not going to ask any stumping Johnny questions this week for time's sake. But if you have any questions that you want to throw in there for Johnny to stump him, anybody can do it. Ron T, if you want to ask, I know you enjoy that part. I won 500 sleeper bucks from Ben Kurt on Sunday night. Are these bets available there? I don't know what that means.
Okay, we're good.
Johnny, the Ron mentioned something.
Oh, geez, that's amazing.
What does that mean?
The Sleeper is the fantasy app that you have to stack. That's a tough one though. I would.
Oh, Ben Kurt's the quarterback app.
Yeah. No, I saw his.
Not understanding what was going
on. Sorry, I just looked at my phone. I got like 3 texts on my brain's everywhere. That Sleeper is like the underdog one that you won last year, so you have to like stack up. You can't do single bets; you have to do like parlays. So that's interesting, Ron. Be wise with it. Or maybe you just put it all in one to say fuck it if it's free. Yeah, I actually used the promo last week, and I saw that today. And I was like, damn, I could have possibly won some freaking money if I would have done it.
All right,
it's all right though. Does Johnny have little Johnny jokes?
Does Does Johnny
No,
love
those
little
are.
Johnny jokes?
I don't have any. I don't like
Do
it.
you
It
love
makes me
them?
sad. It makes me sad because I was little Johnny, and all those stories are true. So.
Norm Macdonald had a lot.
Still a lot of trauma to work through that. Norm Macdonald had what?
He would tell a lot of little Johnny jokes. Rest in peace to the real one.
To O.J. Simpson too. A lot of O.J. Simpson jokes.
That's right.
Boom.
So last week I was sort of I had a really solid week besides Josh Dobbs, but Johnny had a slightly better week, I would say.
I did. I had no bads. I didn't pick a kicker, so that kind of doesn't count for that.
I mean, I had Josh Dobbs, which wasn't a great pick, but I still stand by Josh Dobbs being good.
Hey, I think he still has potential. Like he's ran for like 2 touchdowns at least.
Yeah,
maybe 3.
Khalil Herbert wasn't my fault though. He got injured like in the first quarter, but he was on pace to like do like 30 points. Like he had like 70 something yards on 10 rushes, and it was like the end of the first quarter or the beginning of the second quarter. So he was doing really well, and then he got injured, and now he's on injured reserve, and now he's on my team.
That's true. This is true.
But I traded him back.
Adobe, what the hell are you trying?
We're not going to go over this, but there was a very good trade that I had in our league that people were frustrated by, and there's a lot of drama. Maybe
I don't even. I'm not. Let's not bring that drama into the show.
There's so much, but Johnny and I were mad at each other.
You were mad.
I was mad at Johnny more than anything.
I was annoyed. I wasn't mad.
I was annoyed too. So we were just.
All right, let's get into the picks though, Ron. So maybe we can win you some money on Sleeper. So, just interpret it. This isn't like a general bet. This is just this is who we like for this week. So just interpret that as is. Geno Smith.
Yeah, I have Geno Smith. You know, it's always good to have a QB off a bye week. And Geno was nursing a knee injury he got after an awkward tackle against the Giants, where he only played 38 snaps. I mean, Geno, this is a pretty solid matchup. I think they're playing the Bengals. They're a decent defense, but again, you're facing a team off a bye week. You have a lot of time to prepare. Geno had a lot of time to rest. Mm-hmm. And he's a good quarterback. So this could be one of those gunslinging weeks.
I put in Daniel Jones, but I meant to put in Mac Jones.
You put in Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is out tomorrow. I was like, because I remember, I was like, wait, Daniel Jones is injured. Why would I put Daniel Jones is hurt.
I have the script open and I didn't see who your
I didn't write
was
in the script.
until
I just put him at the last minute. Mac Jones facing the Patriots and Raiders. Raiders, I don't know, actually. The Raiders might eat him alive with the Patriots line, how they've been lately. And Max Crosby just ate up the pack. He ate up Jordan Love like that. But
Ron, just listen to me from the rest of this podcast. Like, legit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Johnny just got back from a long road trip. And he scrambled.
You don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust me if you don't want.
Like, how do you? He says he meant to put Mac Jones, but he put a picture and text. So,
you're right.
Did he really mean Mac Jones, or was he just like, "Oh shoot, I didn't see that"?
No, I thought both, and then I was like, "Wait, did I have Mac or Dan?" And yeah, I forgot he was out. Like when you said injury, that's when I remembered he was out. So I mean, either way, take it as you guys.
Anyway, okay, I'm doing my homework here, so you're gonna want to pick my picks. Then you're gonna go to this next slide here and see.
Anyway, I think my argument still is I think Brian Daboll has a revenge game against the Bills. And
so he's
really has some injuries on defense, so whatever.
He's telling you to pick up Tyrod Taylor is who he's saying. Amari DeMercado is my running back for the week.
You pronounced it right, I think.
Some of you might be like, "Hey, wait a second, Keontae Ingram is on this team and he's not injured anymore." I understand, and some of you might not even know who this is. Unless you have James Conner on your team or you're a fan of the Arizona Cardinals or the TCU Horned Frogs. So he was an undrafted guy from TCU. Last week he did amazing for the little bit of snaps he had when James Conner went down halfway through the game. But DeMercado had all of the touches when he went down. The tricky part here is that, with Keontae Ingram coming back off the injury, and he was pretty solid as a backup. But who was the other guy last year that backed up James Conner that did good too? I'm blanking. Anyways, that guy's not on the team anymore. But Keontae Ingram was like definitely downgraded last year behind that guy. So I think DeMarcado could definitely get more snaps. If you're in a pinch and you need to pick someone off waivers, I think this guy could win or could do well against the Rams defense. That's a little shaken up at defensive tackle and linebacker this week. So that's my pick.
He was the top waiver pickup this week. You spent a whopping $16 on him.
Yep.
Was it? So,
which is a good amount. Yeah. I mean, that's what you should have spent on him.
Yeah, I think that's why. So I'm remembering now because I was going to pick Mac Jones, and then I switched it to Daniel Jones because I was like, I have too many Patriots already. And then Daniel Jones is hurt. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Anyway, Ramondre Steve. Stevenson didn't fit without messing up the thing, so I just typed in that in real quick. I kind of
we'll forgive
Rami Stevie someone. Anyways, I think he has a bounce back game this week as well. Raiders don't have a great run defense or a great pass defense. They have Max Crosby. That's basically it. And they actually had that. I can't remember his name, but the guy that made a really good play in the end zone last week was making a few more plays throughout the game. So maybe the young little stud there. But yeah, I think he has a bounce back game. Bill Belichick still loves this guy. I think that they're going to run it down their throats. I don't know. I like him to have a bounce back game and finally do something. I'm hoping he does because he's on my fantasy team. Maybe I'm just biased. But yeah. Anyways.
And I do like what Ron mentioned, doing the first initial last name.
I was going to do that, and then I had already moved on. I was in a hurry. I did this like
you were going to do that like you were going to do Mac Jones, and you just messed up. Yeah. Okay.
We should just not have had a show this week, Brian. Is that what you wanted me to say?
For Ron's sake, you're
I'm sorry. Don't listen to me then. This is actually the one I will tell you to listen to me because the Bears still suck. I know they won a couple games.
Wrong.
They won one game.
Excuse me.
Their defense is still terrible.
Excuse me.
They let up. No. They got lucky last week. No, they didn't get lucky. That was a very like catharsis game for you guys. I don't want to take anything away from that. But your defense still is very sus. And KJ Osborne was already a big red zone target for Kirk Cousins. Take that as you will. He's had like at least a couple every freaking game, I think. He dropped a couple. I mean, he's honestly just like, how did you see the whole thing with Steve Smith calling Jared Jeudy just another guy, a jag? It was like it's a good insult for the league. I think KJ, he's just another guy. He's literally a receiver. Like he's your average receiver, but he has the opportunities here. So, Ron,
I'm excited because I
would put something. I would add him to one of your bets. I would say if you're going to take one thing away from me, either a anytime touchdown or like a over on the yards for Osborne. So,
Ron asked, "What's my X name?" I'm glad you asked. I have 22 followers on my X.
And all of them are Chinese bots, aren't they?
No, I would say a quarter of them
a third
are.
Of them. You're up to 40, and then they got rid of a bunch of bots, and now you're down to 20 or something.
Yeah.
It's at Brian Bergs. It says
it's just whatever's here. I think I don't know. That's a good I'm moderately active on it. I just
He's trying. You post a couple good memes. I meant to like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Johnny encouraged me to post this inappropriate meme on
I didn't encourage you to post it. I said it was funny.
I posted and he doesn't like it. Oh, there we go. We got a follower. Appreciate it, guys.
Tell us about Mooney.
Please follow Mooney. Let's talk about Darnell Mooney. So this might just be because I'm high on the Bears offense. I'm not high on the defense, Johnny, so I understand the KJ Osborne pick, but Mooney has gotten some modest targets the past few weeks with little to show for it. So that's the issue. He's gotten some targets. Here's the thing. Everybody's going to be looking at DJ Moore this week. That's what's going to happen. Like in the Minnesota Vikings, defensive backs are so bad.
Yeah, they have like just as bad as defense as the Bears on it.
Yes, they are. They have the most average completed passes in the league with around 27 completed passes a week, which is hard to do on average. So the defensive backs are allowing a lot of catches to these guys. I think the Vikings are just going to zero in on Moore with their best guy. Who's their best defensive back? What's his name?
Like their safety, honestly. It's
Harris, whatever, Smith or whatever.
Harrison Smith, yes. And their young guys, these that Line or whatever. The dude from Clemson, I want to say.
Yeah. Well, I think the Vikings will zero in on Moore after this monster game he had, and I think Mooney will get the opportunities because that defense.
Their corners are just
so much.
They have their corners. I couldn't even name a corner if they're that bad.
Right. There's one, I forget his name, but he's like good. Somebody might say it in the chat, but
anywho, I like Mooney. I think he was one of the few like last year. He was like the only receiver that had any kind of chemistry with Fields last year. And I think with Moore, he's like actually a solid receiver too if they can get that offense going.
Yeah. Well, he's wide receiver 1 in the league basically right now, especially with Justin Jefferson out.
No, I mean I'm saying Mooney. I'm saying Mooney's a solid receiver to DJ Moore.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying Moore is this wide receiver too.
No, I'm not. No, I wouldn't. I was pissed. Like as soon as the Bears got DJ Moore, I was pissed because I knew that was a great addition for like that's the elite player that they were needing, and that was like the only good receiver that might have been available, and they had the leverage in the number 1 pick to get that from the Panthers. So no, absolutely. Out of everything, I would criticize polls and whatever for. That's the only thing I would never criticize them for.
I would never.
DJ Moore is a stud, and I was surprised. I was surprised early on in the season when they weren't making it work with him. Mm-hmm. It seemed like he went when he was the first 3 games.
I think it was just a ruse to get Chase Claypool off the team. That ass. All right, we have Dalton Schultz.
I didn't even put his name in because I did that right before the show started. When we had the intro going on, that's why I took long because I had to put in the picture. And I was like, whatever. Tell us about Dalton Schultz, though. The old picture to get the mustache.
But
for the Texans now.
Yeah, he's on the Texans. He had 10 targets last week. I forget if he led all of these or like 2 of them. I think he led the team in targets, receptions, and yards last week, but I'm not sure. I think CJ Stroud's getting a little more used to him. And you could tell, like, if you look at his scoring, the last 2 weeks have been really good for him. He had a touchdown 2 weeks ago, a touchdown this past week. I think he could build off of that. And you saw what he did in Dallas. He was amazing with Dak. One would even say he's a better value than Tyler Lockett last year. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I just like Stroud as a passer to tight ends.
The past 2 weeks Schultz has gotten a touchdown. So you can bet on them for that streak to continue, or just rely on him. I mean, he got 10 targets last week, pretty solid. And Take Dell not expected to play again this week. I'm sure Nico will get his usual load, obviously, but yeah. Good. I like that pick. I like that pick for Schultz because he's proved he's not just a system tight end. I think he was actually good.
Yes.
But yeah, I have Hunter Henry, another Patriot, but I think that he just had a bad week last week. If you take out, I think he's still like a top 10. If you take out last week, he's a top 10 tight end still from the first 5 weeks, first 4 weeks.
I'm trying to match my head to Hunter Henry's face right now, and I can't do it. You got such big lips.
Yeah, big sexy lips. I think Hunter Henry's a good.
We got lost in them for a second.
A good tight end, a very solid tight end, and he's available in a lot of leagues right now. So he's right there if you need a tight end or a backup tight end, or if your tight end's on bye. I know there's only you have Freiermuth or Musgrave as your starting tight end, which you probably have another tight end if you have either of those. But I think he's going to do well this week. That's all I'm saying. I think the Patriots as a whole finally have their comeback week, and Bill can make people shut up for a second about him being fired.
Amen.
And Josh McDaniels, I mean, he's playing his old coach, and maybe that I don't know. I think it's beneficial to both sides in a way. So maybe it's a defensive game, and the offenses actually don't do good. So I don't know. We'll see.
We got defense, Big D, and feet picks of the week.
I forgot to do mine.
Did you leave? We'll see. Ron, another reason. I don't know if Ron's still here.
I have the. I was going to do the defense I picked up, which was the.
Anyways, I have the Bills, which everybody in the chat everybody who's watching this should be like, why are you picking the Bills? Somebody already has them. I'm assuming this defense is already picked up in your league. So, but if you need a little extra trade value, try requesting the Bills defense on, as a little sweetener for a trade, because they have some pretty solid matchups for them for scoring.
They just lost Milano and White for the year, though, so I wouldn't trade for them unless you need.
I'm just saying like a little sweetener, because at least for the week, if you're,
I would say the defense is the problem with the Bills. Actually, I mean, just the inconsistency with the offense, and then I don't know.
Well, just know that if you're looking to bet on a defense, the Bills
for this week, yes,
the Bills are a defense to bet on.
Yes.
They don't have Daniel Jones. They have an injured Saquon. And who else is on that offense? Oh, their offensive line is all injured too.
The only defense you should trade for is the 49ers. I'll tell you that right now.
I will tell you this right now. And I'm being serious. The 49ers, great defense.
I did nothing wrong and they indicted me.
I did nothing wrong. The defense did nothing wrong. The Dallas Cowboys, horrible team. Evil team. They're an evil team, and they're making George Kittle out to be this evil guy, and he's a great guy, even though he made a T-shirt. What's a T-shirt gonna do? All right.
If we lose, I should get none of the blame, but if we win, I should get all the credit.
Yes, exactly. My feet pick of the week, Ron, is always Young Hoku. So if you've made it this far, by the way, some of these people that are sticking with us, it's just two of them, Jet and Ron, I'm pretty sure. But if sometimes we get in the podcast and then people leave by the time we get to this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm glad that we're all still here.
So we should probably start with these picks because it's a little more, we're talking more, content than we prepared.
You're right.
So
you are correct. I think we should do like the middle and have like an insight. I don't know. We'll rework the show.
Yeah.
But we have some exciting news to come still, but we'll let you guys know about that.
It's a secret.
It's a big secret. Big secret.
My
defense would have been the Falcons had I remembered to do that slide. Because I picked them up. They're playing the Commanders, which don't have a shabby offense, but I think the Falcons also have an underrated defense so far. So I think they've been getting some picks. Jesse Bates is still the guy. He was. Larkin, listen right on, Jameric Bald, man. We loved you. We thank you for it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, and then my kicker would have been probably the same one. Dicker the kicker. So I have an excuse to say Dicker.
Amen.
Dicker, I hardly know her.
And we just kind of do the kicker just to throw on there, even though it's like you really should.
I think it's a good segment, and we're keeping it forever as long as the show exists. Big D, it's a perfect, stupid segment that encapsulates our maturity and
Big D
still and yeah. I don't like feet picks, honestly, but I like D picks.
Okay.
I was joking. I don't like either.
Oh, Johnny. Oh, Joni.
I don't like either. I like kickers.
I'm gonna get you guys in a little secret about Johnny's name before we talking about names we like. In our fantasy football league, one of the people in our league misspelled his name Joni, Jony.
Oh, that's annoying.
And so now every time we talk about Johnny in the chat, we just say Jony. We shorten his name to that, and I say it Joni out loud, and Johnny doesn't like it. Like he thinks it sounds stupid.
It is dumb. Dumb.
But here are the names we like.
Now, Deliverance.
You got a birdie mouth. That's from the movie Deliverance.
It's a me, Imario.
Imari.
Reference to the.
There he is.
Oh, my cat's sneezing. You okay, buddy?
I thought your cat was getting hit by a trash can. That's what it sounded like. It's a me, Mario. Brees's Pieces. This is a funny one I liked. Tua Infinity and Bijan.
Found on Reddit. Got to give credit.
Found on Reddit. Got to give credit.
No, I don't like that. See, now you just
Joni. I'm going to call you Joni from now on. I hope everybody is okay with that.
They're not. I'm not okay with that.
Thank you. Do you have any other names you'd like to add, Joni?
I would like you to remove Joni from the name of
my vocabulary.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see if it makes a comeback next week.
Well, folks, we appreciate you coming out. Looks like Tom actually pushes Q&A back to like 7, I think. But either way, I hope we all have a good week and wish your team success. All of you, you have been speculated from the sidelines by Second String Sports Talk. You have been, we are second stringers.
Follow me on X at Brian Burks.
Yes, follow me.
Be my 24th follower.
The 25th follower gets the free DM from you.
Yeah, 24th follower, I'll give you a feet pick.
A feet pick for 25th follower. What clip should we end the show with? Because we didn't play any clips today.
Let's do a classic one. You have a good classic one?
I wonder if Aaron Rodgers is seeing these UFOs. Wouldn't be the first time.
He's still on the ayahuasca.
I knew that this was coming down, that at some point I was going to talk about my status because I'd chosen to not get vaxxed for reasons that you talked about.
All right, guys, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you, Jetto. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Jamaic Baldwin, man. We'll see you later. I might be streaming tomorrow night. We'll give you an update.
All right.
That's all, folks.
Enjoy Oktoberfest.